Thanks for tuning in to your daily dose of quick real estate updates, local housing trends, and market data, plus tips, tools, and strategies to help you buy, rent, or invest with confidence. You're now getting ready with RealiCare Reports, powered by the innovation team, Cami and Rex. Now go grab your favorite morning breakfast, coffee or tea, and let's enjoy today's episode.
Welcome to the deep dive. You know, it really feels like managing our finances is, well, it's an Olympic sport these days, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Inflation is relentless.
Exactly. And for so many families, budgets are just stretched incredibly thin.
Yeah, and that can sometimes lead to uncomfortable situations, like late payments.
Right. On the mortgage, the car note, maybe even credit cards. It's just a really challenging financial landscape out there.
No doubt about it.
And, you know, we've heard from a lot of you who are trying so hard to streamline things, maybe trim down the number of credit cards.
Or even those old school charge cards, the ones you have to pay off each month.
Yeah. But there's this real worry, this concern that doing that might actually damage your credit score.
It's a common question.
So today, that's what we're diving deep into, credit scores. I mean, at their core, they seem simple, right? They measure how reliable you are with money.
Basically how well you manage the size and timing of your payments on debt.
But the sources we looked at show it's way more nuanced than just paying on time.
Oh, absolutely. It includes the types of accounts you have.
Your total available credit.
The consistency of those payments, that's huge.
And even how often you're applying for new credit. All these little pieces.
Exactly. It all factors in.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to cut through all that noise. We want to give you practical, actionable tips for building or repairing your credit.
And we're drawing directly from the insights and the sources you shared with us.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We've got some fantastic insights here. Things that really challenge common assumptions, I think. Things that can truly move the needle on your score.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is how the guidance really covers both the basics, the foundational steps, but also some more, let's say, nuanced strategies.
So it offers a pretty clear path, whether you're just starting out, building credit, or maybe trying to repair it after hitting a rough patch.
Precisely. There's something here for almost every situation.
Okay, so as we get into this credit journey, the first piece of wisdom, and honestly, maybe the most frustrating one our sources highlight, is patience.
Ah, yes, the long game.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. You simply won't build a stellar credit profile overnight.
No, it takes years. Years of consistently good habits.
And that consistency, specifically in paying bills, that's highlighted as the single most significant factor in your score.
Absolutely. There's really no shortcut around that. It's not just hitting the due date once or twice.
It's the unbroken streak, right?
Yeah.
That long pattern.
Exactly. And people often underestimate how much just one late payment can hurt. It can undo months, maybe even years of hard work.
Wow. Okay, so building on that foundation, our sources also mention how even really basic banking practices can lay some strong groundwork.
Right. A very practical first step. Just open a checking or savings account.
At a traditional bank or maybe a credit union.
Yep. And the key is keeping it funded and active. Show you can manage deposits and withdrawals without bouncing checks.
And ideally, maybe increasing the balance over time. That sends a good signal.
A very positive signal to the financial world, yes. It shows stability.
That's interesting because you might think bank account automatically means loans or credit lines.
But it's broader than that.
Yeah. Our sources point out you can actually start building good credit just by having everyday accounts, like utilities and cell phone bills in your name.
That's a really important one, especially for younger folks or people starting out.
So like if you live with roommates, maybe putting the internet bill or the electricity in your name, that could be a really crucial first step.
It establishes that financial footprint, yes.
Yes.
It shows responsibility.
And here's where it gets really interesting, something I think could be huge for a lot of listeners.
Okay.
A crucial, often missed insight is that those consistent utility and cell phone payments, the proof you're handling everyday finances responsibly, they might not even be on your credit report automatically.
That's right. It's not always automatic.
We'll definitely dig into how you can ensure they are included, because honestly, that alone could dramatically shift things for some people.
That could absolutely be a game changer for many. So once you've got those basic accounts maybe squared away, the next critical step our sources emphasize isn't just about having credit, but really masterfully controlling it.
Meaning?
Specifically, Never borrowing more than you can comfortably repay.
Okay, that sounds like common sense, but...
Well, here's the counterintuitive bit.
Right?
Bankers often want to offer you more credit than you actually need.
Ah, right. Those pre-approved offers.
Exactly. The real power move, according to the sources, is to take only what serves your actual strategic financial goals.
Not just what makes you feel good or inflates the ego.
Precisely, because overborrowing can lead you to being sort of credit rich but cash poor.
Which ironically limits your real financial flexibility.
Completely. You don't want to get caught in a situation where the lenders are basically dictating your choices because you're overextended.
Okay, that brings us neatly to a concept you've almost certainly heard of. Credit utilization.
Definitely a buzzword in credit talk.
And this is actually one part of your report you can improve relatively quickly, which is good news.
Yeah, it's more immediately actionable than, say, the age of your credit history.
So it's calculated by taking the total of all your credit card balances and dividing that by the total of all your credit card limits.
Simple math. But the key insight.
The key insight for someone really trying to manage this well is understanding that even a small balance on a card that's totally maxed out
Right.
can actually be worse for your score than having a larger balance on a different card that has a much higher limit.
It's all about that ratio, the percentage.
Exactly. The goal is generally to keep that utilization below 30%, ideally even lower.
And you can improve this pretty fast by strategically paying down those credit card balances, focusing on the highest utilization cards first.
Right. And what's interesting here, and maybe a bit surprising,
Go on.
increasing your overall credit limits can also help your utilization ratio.
It can, assuming, and this is a big assumption, you're disciplined enough to manage that increased limit wisely.
Meaning you don't just see it as an invitation to spend more.
Exactly. Don't accrue more debt just because you can. The higher limit just gives you more breathing room on the calculation side.
Okay, so it effectively lowers the percentage if your balance stays the same.
Correct. But here's where you need to be vigilant. While a higher limit can help your utilization, our sources issue a really strong warning. Resist the urge to open too many new cards.
Okay, that makes sense. Too many inquiries can hurt.
Right. But also, and this is the really counterintuitive part for many, resist closing old ones.
Wait, hold on. Even if I've meticulously paid off a card and I just want to simplify, declutter my accounts, closing it might actually penalize me.
It can, yeah. It feels completely backwards, I know.
It really does. What's the logic there, according to the sources? Why would closing a paid-off account hurt?
It's a super common misconception. But the research, the data, shows that when you close an old card, even one with a zero balance, it's not just about having one less account in your wallet. You're actually doing two potentially negative things.
Which are?
One, you're reducing your total available credit. So if your balances stay the same, your utilization ratio instantly goes up.
Okay. The denominator in that fraction gets smaller.
Exactly. And two, you might be shortening the average age of all your accounts. Lenders like to see a long history of managing credit responsibly.
So closing your oldest card could actually make your credit history look younger, which isn't ideal.
Precisely. Both of those factors, utilization and average account age, are things lenders definitely want.
Wow. So the takeaway is maybe don't open more credit than you reasonably need in the first place.
That's a big part of it, because otherwise you might sort of back yourself into a corner later wanting to close cards but realizing it could hurt your score.
That is a crucial insight.
Okay.
Now, what about getting that very first credit card? If a bank won't issue a regular unsecured one?
Yeah, that can be tough for people starting out. The sources strongly suggest requesting a secured card in that case.
Okay, explain that. How does a secured card work?
It typically has a low limit, maybe say $500. And it's secured because you make a matching deposit, like $500 at the bank or credit union issuing the card.
So it's very low risk for the bank.
Exactly. But the beauty is it functions like a regular credit card in terms of reporting.
That's
it's a
it.
proven way to start building that positive credit history.
Got it. And with any charge accounts, secured or unsecured?
The message from all the sources is crystal clear. Make payments on time, every single time.
Missing even one payment just counts against you really quickly.
Instantly. And it can significantly set back any progress you've been making. It's just not worth the risk.
Okay. And if a secured card isn't an option right away, is there another strategy?
Yes, another approach mentioned is becoming an authorized user on someone else's existing account.
Like a parent or a spouse.
Could be, yes.
Yeah.
If you can be added to their account, maybe get your own card linked to it.
Mhm.
The positive payment history and sometimes even the longer track record of that primary account can often be added to your credit report.
Giving you a valuable boost, kind of piggybacking on their good history.
It can be a really effective way to get started or rebuild, assuming the primary account holder manages it well, of course.
Right. That's important.
Hmm.
Okay, and when you are using credit cards, the advice seems to be aiming for a happy medium. What does that mean?
It means don't max out your cards. Obviously, we talked about utilization.
Right.
But also, try not to only make the minimum payments each month.
Why is that? Isn't paying the minimum still paying on time?
It is, technically. But our sources indicate that consistently making only minimum payments can sometimes signal financial stress or weakness to a credit issuer.
Like you're struggling to keep up.
Potentially, yes. You want to show that you can handle both the opportunity the credit provides and the obligation that comes with it. Paying more than the minimum demonstrates better control, sort of, true mastery.
Okay. Makes sense. Show you're comfortably managing the debt.
Exactly. And if you do manage a credit card properly, paying on time, keeping balances reasonable for at least a year, the sources suggest being proactive. Approach your card provider and ask for an increased credit limit.
Oh, interesting. Why do that?
Because successfully managing a larger credit limit demonstrates you can handle increased responsibility without abusing it.
And that sends another strong positive signal about your financial maturity.
A very strong positive signal, yes. Plus, as we discussed, it can help your utilization ratio.
Right, right. Okay. Now, what about folks facing more significant challenges? Maybe serious debt issues?
For those situations, our sources strongly recommend considering a nonprofit credit counseling agency.
Okay, what can they do?
They can offer really invaluable budget advice, sometimes help negotiate debt management plans with creditors, or provide other kinds of personalized financial guidance. They're experts in this.
And if the challenges are specifically related to housing, maybe facing foreclosure or trying to get a mortgage?
Then you should specifically look for a HUD-approved housing counseling agency. HUD is the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Got it. So specialized help is available.
Absolutely. These resources are designed to help people navigate genuinely complex financial situations. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Good advice. And finally, there's one crucial task, almost like annual maintenance, that our sources really emphasize.
Ah, yes. Pulling your credit report regularly.
You can do this easily, right? Like
Yep.
at annualcreditreport.com.
That's the official site, yes. You're entitled to a free report from each of the 3 major bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, every year.
And it's vital to actually look at it.
Absolutely vital. Check that all the accounts listed are yours, that the payment histories are accurate, that there aren't any remarks or errors you don't recognize.
And if there are inaccuracies,
You need to clarify or challenge those discrepancies immediately with the credit bureau. Dispute the errors.
okay. And furthermore,
Mhm.
and this loops back to what you called a game changer earlier,
Right, those utility and cell phone payments.
they might not automatically be on there.
Exactly. They often aren't included by default. So the advice here is very clear. You need to be proactive. Actively contact the credit reporting agencies Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and specifically request that these consistent payment histories from your utility and phone accounts be factored into your report.
So you have to ask them to add it.
You often do, yes.
Hmm.
Or explore services that specialize in reporting these types of payments. It's an active step you can take to make sure your full financial responsibility is actually recognized and counted.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
We have covered a lot today.
Yeah, sure.
Seriously. From like the fundamental importance of just being patient
The marathon.
and getting those basic banking practices down, all the way to the really intricate details of managing credit cards, utilization,
Asking for limit increases.
and those really surprising insights.
Yeah.
Like how closing old cards might actually hurt your credit. That one still kind of blows my mind.
It trips a lot of people up.
Or the fact that your regular, everyday cell phone and utility payments might not even be on your report unless you take action. That really makes you think differently about how these scores are put together.
It really does.
Yeah.
And if we try to connect all this to the bigger picture, consistently managing your finances, following these kinds of steps,
Yeah.
it isn't just about chasing a 3-digit number. It's truly about gaining financial flexibility. It's about showing genuine responsibility to potential lenders.
So it unlocks opportunities down the road.
Absolutely. But remember, credit improvement really is a journey. It requires diligence, consistent good habits. As we said, it takes years to build a truly great credit profile. There are no magic bullets.
Right. diligence and consistency.
Which brings up an important question for you, the listener.
Yeah.
When you pull your annual credit report, as all the sources recommend,
Okay.
how will you not only check it for accuracy, which is crucial, but how will you actively ensure that all your consistent payments, like those utility bills, your cell phone, are actually contributing positively to your score? What active steps are you going to take?
That's a great question. So thinking about that, what does all this really mean for you right now? Consider that point-blank statement from the sources. Utilities and cell phone payments may not automatically be added to your credit report.
It's a potential gap in your profile.
So what tangible steps will you take, maybe even today, to contact those credit reporting agencies? To specifically request that those consistent everyday payments proof of your reliability get factored into your overall financial reputation.
It really could be the simplest, yet maybe one of the most impactful credit building moves you make this year.
Definitely something to think about and act on.
Well, that wraps up today's episode of RealiCare Reports, where real estate meets real life. For more updates, tools, and insights that will help you buy, rent, or invest with confidence, be sure to follow, subscribe, stay connected, stay informed, and stay ready. Until next time.